How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I've seen a lot of comments recently wondering, is a box blade best for your application? A land plane, is that best for your application? Or maybe even just a regular old angled blade for the back of your tractor and the 3-point. Unless you're like some of the very few that have an unlimited budget, obviously you have to make concessions based upon what can work in multiple scenarios, right? Not everybody has the luxury of buying a land plane, a box blade, and an angled blade for the back. So I kind of want to show you how I use my box blade as a land plane. And what I mean by that is usually a box blade is meant for digging in or pushing back and moving amounts of dirt, to whereas a land plane is more of a smoothing out high spots, filling in low spots, and just kind of making a generic, nicely filled in gravel driveway, path, or whatever it may be. Because of the way it's designed, it's meant to kind of stack up dirt over top of each blade and kind of let it run over the excess and then fill in, to where a box blade has a back shelf here and it's going to build up 12 inches of dirt, gravel, or whatever it may be before it allows it to fall over the back. And in most cases with a compact tractor like this, you're probably going to run out of traction before you run out of horsepower, just because of the lightweight nature of these tractors. So I'm going to show you how I set my box blade up to kind of use it as a land plane for tearing up and then laying down, some better quality material on top of your driveway to maybe reduce that excessive amounts of, bringing in gravel every year, or after it gets really wet and soft in the fall time and springtime, the gravel just kind of disappears into the ground. So I'm going to show you how I set mine up here, and we'll kind of go from there. So the first thing I go ahead and do is I set my scar flyers down just enough to where they're going to dig in the ground and tear some gravel up. So mine are adjustable, these 3 notches here, obviously. If you want to see more details on the box blade, I can put the link to it down here below on my specific one, but we're not going to go into that too much here, just because that's not the gist of this, what we're trying to do. So let's go ahead and get all these flipped over. I use them up like this when I'm pushing snow, just to keep them out of the way. And I'll show you kind of here, once I get this set up, why I do it this specific way, and we'll see it as we're pulling it along. Okay, so you'll see I got the scar flyers down as far as they'll go. I'm gonna go ahead and lower this down to the ground. You'll see, you see there how my scar flyers are gonna dig in a little bit. They're on the ground, and you'll see that my back blade, actually, you'll see that back front blade is sticking up off the ground about 1 inch. So what that's gonna do, it's gonna allow these scar flyers to dig in, pick up media, and instead of collecting in this box like it usually would, it's gonna kind of flow underneath that and then ride out underneath that back blade on the back. So by doing that, the box blade is gonna rip up some gravel, it's gonna flow under that, and then the box will hop up over it as you go along. So again, by lengthening this top link out, you're tilting the bucket this way. You're pushing the bucket backwards on the back here, right? So by doing that, it creates that gap, and it does a really good job. You'll see here, I'm gonna take it out here and show you. We've got some really soft gravel that's muddy on our lane. Full disclaimer in this does not replace a land plane by any means, but it's gonna help you maintain your driveway better, because a box blade is multifunctional, but at the same time, it's not gonna do as good of a job as a land plane. Its main purpose is ripping up, digging, cutting, and pushing material around, and or moving from place A to point B, right? So again, this is how I use it in my driveway. It works really well. And if you don't have the budget to buy a separate $1,500 land plane, I don't. So I make my box blade work as a land plane in this application. So let's go outside and I'll show you how it works and give you some video footage.
So as I take the first pass down the road here, you'll notice on the right side of the screen, that part hasn't been touched yet. That's just been driven on, packed down, bunch of rain, freeze, thaw, and it's kind of got us to the point we're at now where it's really pretty muddy, and we need to do something about it. So we're not driving our vehicles through mud all the time. Not a huge deal, but it's kind of nice to keep things cleaned up, no potholes, and then a nice quality road for guests to drive on and such, let alone ourselves. So pay attention as we work along on this. You'll notice that the scar flyers do a great job tearing through the base here, and then the box blade does a great job at spread it out below there. I take several passes back and forth, just trying to overlap where the scar fibers didn't touch. And then, we're getting a really nice quality finish on top. And really it almost looks like brand new gravel again. And so once we get it packed back down and have a nice freeze here, we should have a really good quality road through winter time. And then when it thaws in the spring, we shouldn't be driving on mud.
Just remember, if you guys like what you saw today, give me that thumbs up. That's the best thing you can do to help the channel out as we grow the channel and become more widespread. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already part of the YouTube family, and share it with your friends. Keep on tractoring. Until next time, this is Kyle signing out.